fuck is this piece of shit?
Let's get started by meeting our first guest now.
All right, let's see if we can get this nerd laid. What do you say, folks?
Date men who are married.
Some of Roberta's hobbies include ruminating about the imminent demise of her sick cat and sitting on the toilet until her legs fall asleep.
Claims that she can spot a loser a mile away.
Well, I sure hope she doesn't own any mirrors. That could be devastating. Wow, this Roberta's a real hot tamale, huh?
How are you? Good, have a seat. Telltale signs of a loser. What would they be?
She went to her stylist and said, I want to look like a poodle who's just been struck by lightning.
Somebody that when they ask you to go out for a date, they say, how about at your place? And do you live alone?
Jesus, can we send her home with a complimentary can of bear mace, please?
Alone, and it's geared on what they want.
Selfish.
Only. Right. Self-centered.
All right, going to remind everybody what happened yesterday. Now, we, studio audience.
Threw tomatoes at Roberta, and we just want to remind you that that is not okay.
First there was Dale. His interests ranged from rock climbing to ballroom dancing, or dancing with a rock.
Man, Chuck just threw Dale right under the bus.
And Dave?
He works part-time as a Jeff Foxworthy impersonator.
On her shoulders. Bill describes himself as 172 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
His ex-wife would strongly disagree.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Now, the audience vote was recorded yesterday. We'll get to that later, but right now, Roberta is going to tell us who she chose.
I chose David.
I know I'm really going out on a limb here, but I'm going to guess that their date didn't go well.
How you doing? All right. Well, tell me about the date.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for him in front of my apartment, and he gave me a rose, and it was one in a plastic container like from 7-Eleven.
Excuse me, but that was a Batman promotional cup from Burger King? That's a collector's item, you know.
I bought that at Florist.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they do the same thing at Florida.
Yeah.
By florist, he means the Hispanic guy in the 7-Eleven parking lot.
Really.
Well, I was looking more for maybe 2 or 3, but that's okay. We'll live with it.
Yeah, she was hoping he'd bring her an apple, or at least a handful of grain.
Some people think that a single rose is far more romantic than a dozen roses.
Sometimes the cheaper option is actually more romantic. You see?
Okay, so now what happened?
Okay, so then he gets out of the car, and he was much smaller than I had thought he was from looking at his tape. Kind of petite like a French man. You kind of reminded me of a French man.
Well, fuck you.
And he was very tan, but he had a very thick mustache, kind of like a walrus.
Well, there you go. How'd she look to you, Dave?
Well, she didn't exactly trip my trigger. I normally date a much more petite, woman with a little better body.
Oof, Dave takes no prisoners.
She had on so much red eyeshadow that she looked like a walking tomato.
Which normally would turn me on, but for some reason she just didn't trip my trigger, Chuck.
Walruses eat tomatoes, Chuck.
I'm sorry?
Walruses eat tomatoes.
Well, not on this date, apparently.
Well, now what happened?
I noticed that, he kept glancing at my legs, and it was, and I have a pet peeve about that. It's show about, like this, like that, and I kind of, said that the flesh show is over. I was trying to play it low-key.
Were you checking her legs out?
I wasn't interested in her body at all.
Yeah, just stare vacantly into the middle distance like a serial killer. That really helps your case, Dave.
Now what happens next?
Okay, so we go to the restaurant, and...
It's around lunchtime, so the Burger King is packed.
Okay, so then we go downtown to the Bonaventure, and we went to the Fantasia.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a nightclub. We went to a nightclub.
Oh, I see.
And, so
I don't get
You
out.
don't club?
I'm shackled to this couch. They won't let me leave.
Did you dance?
Yeah, we did dance. And,
Was he a good dancer?
Well, it was kind of like a junior John Travolta, or kind of American dance
slow
style. No, we weren't slow dancing, no. And he was kind of doing, I don't know, between John and Dick Clark on it, something like that.
Between a dick and a what now?
And so I got out of the car, gave him a little peck, and then I looked at the 7-Eleven rose after I walked away, and it was already wilted. So I kind of felt that was a good sign of how the date went.
It's why they say every rose has...
Let's take a look and see who the audience picked for you.
Okay.
Thought Dave was just dandy. They picked him 55%. As a matter of fact, thought Dave was just right for you.
So it looks like you're going on another date with Dave. The council has spoken.
I think I'll let Dave do his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure that's probably he's happy with that, too.
He's gonna go home and warm up a tomato in the oven.
Sorry things didn't work out.
That's an understatement.
But, well, we tried.
Chuck's been doing this for 5 years at this point. He's fed up with these goddamn nerds. We'll be right back. Oh, we're back.
Our next guest hobbies include ping pong and water skiing.
And claims he can do both at the same time.
The women he meets basically fall into two categories.
Victims and potential victims.
Please welcome Lynn Unkeless.
250 pounds of beefcake coming right at you, Chuck.
Are you a slob? Tell the truth. Are you really?
He's really putting Chank Uger in the hot seat here.
That?
No, usually in the living room.
See?
I knew you were a fat pig. What the hell was that? I think Chuck just caught a fly or something.
Floor.
That would not work for a lot of women.
No, unfortunately it doesn't.
Oh boy, he's cracking under the pressure.
No, in addition.
Good Lord, spit it out, dummy.
Now, what are the two categories that women fall in that you meet? What are they?
Oh, for the most part, the women I meet are either bimbos or wallflowers.
Chuck's look of utter confusion and disgust really sums up this whole interaction.
You know, you walk up, you say hello to them, and they go, nice date.
What is wrong with this guy?
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay.
Yeah?
Let's take a look at the women that...
Who were unfortunate enough to be picked to go on a date with this freak. Bye.
Her interests include dancing and going to Rod Stewart concerts. She prefers dating men with brown hair and brown eyes, but Kelly told us about a guy who wasn't close to what she was looking for.
She goes on to give an eerily accurate description of Lynn. Look at that big Fred Flintstone head.
It's kind of weird.
Next, there's Sherry. She was raised in Pavia, Pennsylvania, and she says that if she can't find an honest man, she's willing to settle for a great liar.
That's good. You don't want to seem too desperate or anything.
She wants.
They can be macho. If they're a little bit macho, that's good, because I'm pretty overwhelming most of the time. And if they're a little bit macho and a little bit controlling, then I like that. But if they're too wimpy, I don't like that.
Ugh, that freeze frame is unfortunate.
Finally, Amber, her hobbies include painting and photography and card games. Describes herself as intelligent but occasionally airheaded.
Wow, she's really shattering Lynn's entire worldview here.
On dating.
I don't mind paying. I believe in women's lib and everything. And I'll treat, or else I like the idea of I pay once, you pay once, and we never keep track. But, well, this guy really never kept track because he never paid, ever.
They were married for 3 years. That's the f***ed up part.
Head along. Okay, those are the three ladies that Lynn had to choose from. Now it's time for you to vote. Who do you think would be the best woman for him?
His fate is in your hands. This old Korean lady's like, shit, man, this is way more exciting than playing bingo at the Senior Citizen Center.
Okay, we're back, and Lynn's going to tell us who he selected.
Oh, I picked Sherry.
It's Sherry. Now, we haven't seen each other since the date. We always hear both sides. Say hello to Sherry von Sternberg.
Hi.
Now, tell me about the date.
Oh, I think we can all guess how it went.
When I saw her, well, I knew she was going to be a little bit big from the video,
Yep, it's all downhill from here.
but I didn't know how big.
Some guy in the audience yells, "How big was she?" Oh, no? Oh, okay. I'll sit back down.
Yeah, and that's what I'm not.
Well, how tall are you in heels?
Wow, I'm surprised he didn't embarrass himself even further by just giving a direct answer to that question. Good self-control, Lynn.
About 5'11".
Oh, never mind.
A little too tall for you.
She was big. You know, she
Well,
was,
you're big, too. I mean,
Yep,
you're
I
not
know.
a little guy.
Oh man, Chuck is just calling him out. He's like, listen, you fat f***, quit giving the She-Hulk such a hard time.
Now, what did you think of him when you saw him, Sherry?
Well, he's right. He is a little bit too short for me. And,
Oh, he is?
Well, yeah.
I guess Sherry's a real size queen, huh?
Well, so, what did you do? What happened then?
well,
Now that you've overwhelmed each other with your look.
And your overpowering stench.
we went down to the beach to walk along and see the sunset.
A group of whalers attacked us, so we had to leave.
Now, what happened after the beach? And the
We
fog rolled in, and no.
yeah, really. We went driving over to a karaoke bar.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I kind of nodded off there. So, then what happened?
They show music videos with no words, and the people themselves get up and sing.
Oh.
You become the performer.
I'll be darned. Did you do that?
Yeah, I did.
You got up and did that?
Yeah.
Man, I'd really like to punch this nerd right in his stupid face.
But
Did she perform as well?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She can hold a good note. She just thinks kind of nasally.
He's like, dude, you couldn't get laid if you had a $100 bill sticking out of your zipper.
Thank you.
Boy, it's a tough room to work. Did you talk at the club at all, Sherry?
Barely at all. I had a great time. There was a birthday party going on, and after I sang, no one there thought I was nasal. Everybody said, oh, you sounded great. And I said, all right. So I went and joined the rowdy party, and that was fun. And Lynn kind of joined some other people, and we really didn't talk a whole lot.
That's not true. I asked you if you were going to finish your breadsticks, remember?
Well, now, after this place, what do you do?
Well, we decided to go dancing.
Yeah, I'm sure once she sees Lynn hit the dance floor, all transgressions will be forgiven.
Keep that flame going.
Got to do what you can.
Man, he dries the ladies out like nobody's business, doesn't he?
And all that was there was a bunch of 18-year-old, looked like a bunch of rowdy teeny boppers. And that's not really my crowd.
He really didn't want to get beaten up by teenagers in front of his date for a second time.
As a result,
Did you feel the same way about that?
No, they were more of an exotic crowd. And,
Exotic?
Yes, they were the kind of people who study cold, you know what I mean? They all were trendy, and they looked like they were going to have a good time, and I was in the mood to have a good time.
But unfortunately, Lynn was in more of a mood to skulk around like a furtive weirdo.
Drove her back home.
To her place, not to yours.
To her place. Back to her place. And I consider myself a gentleman.
Good.
And so I saw her to her door. Right. And there we just chatted a little bit, and then I left.
I'm sure Sherry's view of these events is going to be wildly different. Strap in, folks.
How long did he stay?
45 minutes. Just chatting.
Yeah, a lot of chatting.
In his defense, he spent most of the 45 minutes laying in front of her apartment door, sobbing and begging to be let in, so...
I was very tired, and I kept saying, Lynn, I would like you, I'm really tired, I'd like you to go, and he just kind of hung around for a while.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Well, that's a new one on me.
I'm sure that sounded a lot cooler in his head.
Well, that's a new one on me.
Front door for 15 minutes. I was thinking, just go down the stairs now, Lenny. You can do it.
Well, I have trouble with stairs.
All you gotta do, my dear, is say what you think.
That's what I did.
Literally what she just did.
Let's take a look and see what the audience picked for you. Man, sometimes they know things that we don't know.
He's really trying not to cry right now.
However, in this case, boy, it's very close, though. Look how close it is.
I'm sure you two would have had a great time at the Rod Stewart concert. But we'll never know.
Ask her out again. We pay for it. If not, you can do whatever you like.
Well, I mean, sure, if she's into it.
I feel the same way. Well, things didn't go too well, Sherry. That happens sometimes.
That's all right.
Thanks for coming on the show.
It was actually really fun roasting this loser on live TV, Chuck.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. And we're going to come right back to the next guest. Stay with us.
I think I did pretty good, Chuck.
Has no idea of the horrors that are about to be visited upon them.
Always get the wrong impression that she's flirting with him, and she says that one look from a man can ruin a whole evening. Please welcome Suzette Banks.
She's instantly under the spell of Chuck Woolery's Nosferatu-like charm. Come on over to Chuck's love seat, baby.
What do you think is your best physical attribute?
My smile and my dimples. I made these dimples myself.
Just when you think they finally found one normal person to be on this show.
You suck your jaws in like this. And then you put tape over them.
No,
and
Suzette,
no, yes, really.
Suzette, you don't want to tell this on national television.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Trust me with this. You don't want to do this.
Yes.
He could really give that disclaimer to pretty much any contestant on this show.
How long?
Couple of hours.
Hours you do that.
Chuck's really macking on Suzette over here.
He admits that he can be stubborn at times, but here's a more attractive aspect of his personality.
I can mingle with some of the professionals and fit right in with the crowd. And by the same token, you might see me at a rock concert the next day.
He sounds like he's interviewing for a job.
Next, there's Alonzo. He enjoys racquetball and candlelight dinners.
And the company of other men, by the sound of it.
Finally, Bobby's hobbies include
arts and crafts, and you can often find Bobby at the Hobby Lobby.
Here's the type that he avoids.
Somebody that doesn't want to work. Somebody that just wants to stay home and take care of the house. I know how to do that already.
I can warm up my hungry man dinners all by myself. Well, a lot of great options for Suzette here, huh?
think would be the best
Oh, she's got an opinion, Chuck.
selection? Suzette's going to tell us who she selected.
I selected Johnny.
Johnny. There he is.
I see another nightmare date on the horizon.
And Suzette's date tomorrow. That's our show for today.
Damn, talk about a cliffhanger, huh?
Singles trying to make a love connection. Until then, I hope all your dates are good ones.
Not if Chuck has anything to do with it.
Star Art Donovan. It's all next, only on Channel 5.
So anyways, what do you say you ditch that loser and come on back to Chuck's place, huh? That's the thing about Love Connection. Chuck always wins.